It was from when they were, when that person, when he ordered all the babies to be killed, remember?
Yeah. Mr. Wade here. Me and Mrs. Crime are now at Gethsemane Cemetery out here in Portland, Oregon. Now, today's story is another unfortunate story about a murder spree that happened at a nightclub for under 21 out here in Portland, Oregon. I'm going to post the dates and the time that this happened, as usual, as Mr. Wade does. But this story is very interesting, and I hope you guys enjoy our new story. Thank you to all our subscribers, and stay tuned. More to come. So let's begin. So this cemetery was established in 1861. And if I'm wrong, I will post the date as usual. Mr. Wade is always bad about names and dates. But one day, Tombstone Witch is going to get that correct, right? Okay. So our story starts off, there's a club in Portland, Oregon. Okay. Now, I think the date is 2009. I'm going to correct myself. I'm always posting dates. So, it's a club for 21 and under. So that means that there's no alcohol. And a lot of exchange students go to this place to have fun on the weekends, after college programs, college schools, or whatever. They go there to have a good time. Okay. So this one guy, to make the story more compounded, his name, I will post it on here. Now, at the time, he is 24 years old. Now, during the high school time out in Portland, he was a quiet guy. He was into guns, into weapons, and he was into video gaming. Okay. So one day or one night, he had a roommate. Now, all this comes back after this happened, that the roommate testifies about this. So he leaves his roommate a letter stating that, hey, I'm sorry for my misfortune. I want to give all my belongings to you. Here's my game system. You need any money, you can raise it, this and that, those needs. So he gave like a self-admittance that he wanted to end his life. Why would he want to do that? I have no idea. But he decided that he wanted to end his life. So basically, he leaves a note for his roommate to see. Unfortunately, his roommate did not see this letter until he came home and sometime afterwards. I guess he worked and he was at work when his roommate wrote this letter for him to read about. And he reads this letter, and after everything had happened, he told the police that, hey, he left me this suicide letter. I found this, and maybe this can really help out with or why he did this. So it was 10:30 p.m. that he decided to go drive out to this club called Club Zone. And like I said, it's a nice spot. So basically, Club Zone he actually drives up there, and he, like, I guess, stands outside the club in between another place and just watches everyone in line and as they're entering Club Zone. Now, this Club Zone is located on Main Street, downtown Portland. Now, what he did was he took a 9mm Tanfolio T95 semi-automatic pistol and just fired sporadically into the crowd of people. Now, he's been known to have social media, and he posted some things that were concerning of why he did what he did. And he shot sporadically up in the crowd, and I guess he decided to hide behind a vehicle for coverage. Now, from reference after the fact, a lot of his people that knew him said that, you know, he was on medications. He never took them. This is family stating the facts, that he never took his medications. He was always trying to overdose or take too much of over-the-counter meds. They're saying he suffered from schizophrenia and other mentally ill issues, and he was just not taking his meds. And of course, there's reasoning to why he did what he did, but it doesn't make sense, right? Now, he was working at Burger King. Everyone talks about him as being a nice person, well-mannered, but I guess at times he had low self-esteem. And at the time of him going to this club and shooting it up sporadically in line, of course, shooting 10 people, injuring 7, and killing 2. And his suffering from what he had, which is schizophrenia, and being diagnosed, that he ended up doing this. But his social media stated things about him disliking certain individuals. He disliked the exchange student people. So he decided to go to this place called Club Zone that actually has exchange students and people from different countries that come there just all get together to have a good time. That's the reason why he did what he did and why he went to this place called Club Zone. Wow. Now his name is Eric Salvador Ayala. He was 24. Now, he stood outside his club, Club Zone, out here in Portland, and he sporadically shot up 10 people. He injured 7 and shot 2. Now, during this time, he was seen to be hiding behind a vehicle, taking cover. Now, basically what he did was, once the cops arrived, the Portland police, he ended up shooting himself in the head and attempting suicide to kill himself. He was rushed to the doctor. He went to Emmanuel Hospital out here in Portland and eventually died that night, the next day. And so after he did what he did, he suicided and shot himself, but later died at the hospital out here in Portland. Wow. So that brings us to the cemetery out here that we're at right now. And what brings us here is that we're here to visit and give respect to a young female. Her name is Ashley. She was one of the 2 that was killed or murdered from the shooter that did the sporadic shooting out here in Portland, Oregon. So, very sad story about how a guy that was, known to take medications by his family, but yet was a good-natured kid, quiet, They called him a loner. He liked to be by himself. And he ends up going to this nightclub and sporadically shooting 10 people and injuring 7 and killing 2, both females. And so we're here at the cemetery here to give respect to Ashley. Stay tuned for more. So, Mrs. Crime, she's out taking her photos, and I'm here looking for Miss Ashley's grave. So, this story was something that pulled me and Mrs. Crime to come and bring to you guys, and stay tuned for Ashley's grave. So, I've been searching for a grave, and I think I've located it. Mr. Wade was not going to give up. Okay, so we are now here at Miss Ashley's grave. It took me some time, to find it, but I was destined to find her grave and get the respect. Whew. I'm tired. As you know, it's uphill at the beginning of the cemetery up to here, and then it's a slope, then it's straight up the hill again. But Tombstone Whispers, Mr. Wade found Miss Ashley. Stay tuned. This is the grave of Ashley Lauren Wilkes, born 1992 to 2009. Your beauty, both inside and out, will never be extinguished from our hearts, souls, and minds. This is the grave of Ashley Lauren Wilkes, whom lost her life due to a gentleman that decided to come to the club she was at, Club Zone, in Portland, Oregon, and decided to sporadically shoot the 9mm into the crowd, striking 10, killing 2. Ashley Lauren Wilkes will be missed. 1992 to 2009. All respect. It's sad how sometimes me and Mrs. Crime, we go to different cemeteries, and there's so many stories of how they got into that place. And this is one of the ones where you're just an innocent bystander. And because some individual decides that, hey, my own life is not worth it, so I'm gonna go off and just shoot the ones that go with me. This is kind of selfish on their part, but that's what you call human beings that are mentally diagnosed with something that does something of the such. Nothing never leads up to that. It just sporadically just happens that he decided to do this. Me and Mrs. Crime, our condolences go out to Ashley's family. and in respect to her family and everyone else out here at this beautiful cemetery. Wow. Sometimes, you know, it's just a moment to think that life is short. So for Tombstone Whispers, live life to the fullest. Stay tuned for more. This is the columbarium out here at this beautiful cemetery that me and Mrs. Crime are at right now. And showing you guys the beauty, the flowers that are in the columbariums. And also thank you to all the ones that gave us, me and Mrs. Crime, the knowledge to know what a columbarium was and what consists of inside the columbarium. You know, very nice. So I hope you guys enjoyed our video out here. I think it's a Giusamani. I'm not gonna say the name because Mr. Wade's bad with names. Beautiful cemetery out here in Happy Valley, Oregon. I said Portland earlier, but it's Happy Valley. The incident took place in Portland. But as you know, me and Mrs. Crime been sick, and we're just now getting over the sickness, and we're out here bringing everybody a video. I'm out of breath right now because we're going uphill, but Mr. Wade and Mrs. Crime, Tombstone Whispers, got a lot more videos to come. Stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoyed our video out here at the cemetery. Thank you to all our subscribers, me and Mrs. Crime. I'm Mr. Wade and
Mrs. Crime.
Thank you guys for watching. Plenty more to come. All you subscribers, thank you. Tombstone Whispers, many more to come.